Viewers, as you know, the exit polls have delivered a massive jolt to the Congress party. Whichever way you slice the numbers projected by at least 6 exit pollsters, the Congress party might even find it difficult to breach the 55-seat barrier. Psychological barrier more than anything, because it needs to ensure that it can even be considered as the lead party in the opposition. And to do that, it needs those 55 seats. Here's what we mean. Let's look at some of the numbers. Now, what are we seeing as far as the exit polls are concerned? The poll of polls, if you were to consider Times Now, VMR, My Axis and Chanakya, put the absolute numbers for the Congress between 38-78. Ipsos is at 46, C vote at 80, Nielsen is 87. But if you look at a poll of polls, it comes to about 64. Now that number is contingent, viewers, upon how well the BJP does in Uttar Pradesh, where it's up against a Gathbandhan, and most importantly in Bengal, and significantly for the Congress party in the Hindi heartland. And we have been telling you, viewers, all through the day when we crunch the numbers, that actually in the Hindi heartland across 199 seats, the BJP is gaining a 0.5% vote share, contesting a fewer number of seats this time than it even did in 2014. Now, if that is the case, expect a conversion to happen. And the more the numbers in the Hindi heartland go up for the BJP, they will come directly at the expense of the Congress party. And that's why, while the poll of polls seem to put the number at 64, it might be difficult for the Congress party to get beyond 55 if those vote shares all accrue. The sense of despondency, viewers, has even gripped some of the Congress's allies that are now distancing themselves from Rahul Gandhi. Yes, listen to some of the reactions that are coming in.
Mandya is a crucial seat. It would really open a lot of important information. If I know that JDS is not going to lose. If JDS loses, then there is a lot of trouble which we need to really sit across and talk about.
Well, the reason that the allies are despondent, you heard them, viewers. We will disclose support after the 23rd. If Rahul is PM, H.D. Devegowda said, I will sit by him. And now Tanveer Ahmed of the JDS says, if we lose, it's the Congress's failure. The blame game has begun. The DMK, who actually nominated Rahul Gandhi for Prime Minister of a putative opposition-led alliance, has now said we'll talk about who we support after the 23rd. That's right, viewers. The reason the allies are despondent are locked in the numbers. Once again, here's what we mean. Take a look at Rahul's Congress, because many people say it is beginning to weigh down even its allies. In Tamil Nadu, DMK in 2011, look at the polling percentage, 22.4%. This was post the Congress alliance. And then, viewers, the DMK in 2016, the numbers post the Congress alliance at 31.8%. And you can see already that there is a shift there. Uttar Pradesh, Samajwadi Party in 2012 polls, 29%. SP in 2017 polls, post the Congress alliance, 22%. Weighing it down, viewers. Now let's look at more numbers. West Bengal, CPM in 2011 polls at 29.5%. This was pre-Congress alliance. Now post-Congress alliance, it lost almost 10% of its vote share, and it lost, in fact, a large number of seats it contested and won. In Maharashtra, you can look at it, almost even Stevens. Post the Congress alliance in 2009, 16.3, NCP in 2014 polls, 17.2. It didn't really help the cause. Down there, the NCP also performed very, very poorly. So these are some of your statistics that go to suggest that being in alliance with the Congress doesn't really benefit. It could even turn out to be a hindrance to the cause. Now, Rahul, in fact, seems to be losing steam even in his own family pocketborough, which raises questions about his durability as a political brand. Yes, viewers, I'm going to once again show you numbers. 2004 victory margin in Amethi, 2,90,000 votes. 2009 victory margin in Amethi, 3,70,000 votes. Remember, the opposition there had conceded ground totally. It was a walkover. 2014 victory margin in Amethi, viewers, and you can see it's down just to about 1 lakh. Just look at the erosion. And if you look further, in fact, at the 2017 assembly results, that number precariously shrinks. Yes, because the Congress could not even retain one assembly segment under Amethi. Yes, that was just 2.5 years ago. So, many people are predicting that Rahul Gandhi is actually locked in a dangerous, threatening contest and might even lose his own bastion, which of course throws open many, many questions. Have a look at this other figure. The Congress, is it really a vote catcher or is it becoming more of a vote katwa party? That's the question. Andhra Pradesh, the vote share, look at the vote share there. In 2014, TDP with NDA at 40.5%. The swing for the TDP, minus 9.7%. The TDP with NDA in 2019. So there are many, many differences. I think that's a mistake there. That should have been with the Congress. So that's a mistake in the graphic. We'll retally that and correct that. In 2014, Congress and the DMK 51.8%, the swing 5.2%. The Congress and the DMK now, exit poll predictions 46.6%. So the graph is going down, and that also extends to a large number of Rahul Gandhi's own lieutenants who are facing today an uphill task. And we can see what some of the exit polls are predicting about that. Jitin Prasada lagging in Dorhara, RPN Singh lagging in Kushinagar. This is what the exit polls are saying. Nizam Bhai is going to fire that graphic. Rahul now, liability. Lieutenants also face uphill task. There you can see it. Jitin Prasada not thought to be winning in those seats. Kushinagar lagging. So allies are shunning Rahul Gandhi, as you saw today, and I've put out those bites. And now there are individuals sullenly within the party who are beginning to wonder if he's up to the task. And let's just throw this open this evening. Let me ask some basic questions of our panel. Good evening. Thank you for joining us. Let me begin by asking our first guest, Tavleen Singh, a more basic question. Can Rahul's supporters explain why the Congress has now not found its feet under Rahul's leadership? What do you think is one of the reasons? A lot of Congress party people are beginning to send us messages over the last 24 hours, Tavleen Singh, saying that, look, there are problems, we're not confident, and since yesterday they've turned into a bit of a barrage, and they're beginning to question it. Now, why do you believe that the Congress has not been able to find its feet under Rahul Gandhi?
Well, I'm actually quite happy to hear that they're sending you messages, because that shows that there are people in the Congress party that are capable of speaking, because, we know what happened with Shehzad when he tried to speak. But I think that really the mistake that has been made is that he's concentrated on building his family's image rather than the party. The party has values that it has always stood for. It stood for secularism, it stood for center-right economics, center-left economics, it stood for various things. He has not stood by those. Had he built the party, had he brought in people who could help him, who could strengthen the party, he could have given Modi a fight. I don't think he did that. He just built himself and then at the last minute threw in his sister for good measure. Not a good plan.
Yeah, well, at some point, you've got to ask some questions about the tactics also employed, the messaging. I'm going to come out to you, Sadanand Dume. Let me just bring in Sumansi Raman. Sumansi Raman, the basic question today: can Rahul Gandhi be insulated anymore, even by his most staunchest supporters in the Congress, from the crisis of credibility the Congress is likely to face post what many people are now predicting is going to be an imminent defeat? I mean, we've seen the numbers. In a previous show, just about an hour back, I showed that even within the Hindi heartland, where the BJP is supposed to have slipped and conceded and ceded ground to the Congress, this time, over a fewer number of seats, its vote share is increasing. And that's very worrying. A 0.5%, and those numbers are on your screens.
Rahul.
So, how long are we going to insulate Rahul?
Rahul, the big... No, I think clearly Rahul Gandhi made one colossal blunder, and we will know how big that blunder was on 23rd in Uttar Pradesh, when he should have taken whatever the Gathbandhan gave the Congress. At one point of time, the rumor was they were willing to give up to 8 seats or 10 seats, and he should have gone with it. I think that was a massive blunder, and we will know on 23rd how costly that's going to be. Obviously, the second lesser blunder was not going with Arvind Kejriwal's Aam Aadmi Party in Delhi, because if you look at the vote share percentages which almost all the pollsters have given, if you add the numbers of the MGB to the Congress, they are much more than the BJP. And similarly, if they add the AAP and Congress numbers, they are higher than BJP in Delhi. I think it is very clear this was staring at everybody's face. I don't think that this required a genius to figure out.
No, we all understand that. Sumansi Raman, I'm sorry, you're sort of going off the subject. It's not about, look at the choice of words. You're suggesting that the mistake Rahul Gandhi has made is that he wasn't very good with his ground game. He didn't stitch up the right alliances. I mean, they in fact have. If you really look at the South, a large number of alliances, but at some point the Congress also
Rahul,
needs to revive on its own. And I'm sorry to say this, but it's been now 3 years since Rahul Gandhi has been at the helm.
You need, the exit, Rahul, the exit polls say something. Let's see on 23rd what the final result is, whether they are in line. But I do feel that having just got these two alliances in his under
So
his
you're
belt
almost suggesting that certain regional parties are dying to ally with the Congress, which is not the case. In fact, I've shown you statistics now.
It's not
Whenever
about
the
dying.
Congress allies with someone, goes into the election, in fact, the ally also suffers. Those are the numbers. They're out there for you on the screen. I mean, you have a situation where the JDS today, and I want to bring in Mr. Abdul Razak, the JDS is having second thoughts. They're saying that, look, if we lose, it's all Rahul Gandhi's fault.
Now, let me tell you, Rahul, we were two opposite parties fighting with each other. We came into a coalition. It's just about 6 months. I mean, somewhere down the line, the party cadre could not adjust with the Congress, or the Congress could not adjust with the JDS. But still, a voter of Congress or JDS would definitely not vote for BJP. That's what is my thinking, personally I'm saying. So, I'm still saying we are still confident. Let us look at the numbers and then decide whether it has worked till the bottom or no.
You have every right to invoke that plea, that let's wait till the 23rd, and I'm sympathetic with you on that. But
after that 9,
Sadanand Dume and Tejasvi Surya joins the broadcast also. Sadanand Dume, I want to ask you this question. We are more about accountability. I remember after the last election in 2014, there was an individual who was tasked with the onerous responsibility of determining what went wrong in the 2014 election. He came out with a prescription that was rejected out of hand. I don't think the Congress has really picked up any of those suggestions and implemented them. So I want to ask you, who's to blame for this?
Look, with the usual caveats about exit polls, if these numbers are correct, what it clearly shows is that Rahul Gandhi has a fundamental branding problem that he has not been able to overcome. this is not someone who has been in politics for only 6 months. This has been someone who has been in politics for well over a decade. If you look at his political career, at least from around 2012 onwards, when he spearheaded that strange Congress campaign in Uttar Pradesh, it's been far more. He's led the party to many more defeats than victories. Now we're heading into the second straight national defeat. You tell me one thing, where in the world does anybody get away with leading their party to this kind of disaster and still survive? That is the crux of the problem. Or any country.
Yeah, they resigned immediately, the leader.
So let me then ask you, Sumansi Raman, that's a more forthcoming response on the question I asked. There was no whataboutery, he got to the point. Will you still suggest that Rahul Gandhi is the solution to the problem, or do you think he is the problem?
No, you're not understanding this problem at all, Rahul. The point is, there is no other candidate in the Congress who is acceptable to everybody.
No, sir.
Now, the moment they
This
find
is a myth.
a individual who
Sir, this is a myth
acceptable to
perpetrated
all
by First Family and its
segments of the
retainers.
Congress
Could
from
you ask him
Kashmir
when this
to
was tested?
Kanyakumari.
I'll ask him that question.
No, but please suggest a few names, sir.
I
who
will
be
suggest.
acceptable to
It's
all.
not for us to suggest, it's for
the Gandhi family.
Congressman, I can
The
suggest
Gandhi
6
family
names.
is
Okay.
I can
seen-
suggest 6 names. Kamal Nath is far better. Sachin
You
Pilot
can
is far
suggest 6
better.
names.
Ashok
The
Gehlot,
question is,
Captain
are they
Amrinder Singh,
acceptable from Kashmir
Ashok
to
Chavan.
Kanyakumari?
These names are much better than
Are
Rahul
they
Gandhi.
Okay,
Please.
so let me
Are
ask.
they
Let me ask.
acceptable?
Okay, sir, let
Are
me
they
ask.
acceptable?
Let me ask
It's not
Tavleen
Sir,
Singh
they're
a
not
basic
acceptable
question. Hang
because
on.
you have family
Question of, are they
retainers
acceptable to
controlling
Congressmen
important
from
Who
posts
is
in
to
the party.
determine? Who is to determine whether there are people who are acceptable or not? People who are eminently qualified or not? Tavleen Singh, in a democratic setup.
You see, it's never been tested. I think that if anyone was tested, we would know that whether there were alternatives. But actually, whenever someone has risen in the Congress party, if you look at its history, they've been ousted. Sharad Pawar was in the Congress party. Mamta Banerjee was in the Congress party. There's a long list of names. It doesn't come to me offhand.
Even Pranab Mukherjee made his...
You see,
Yeah.
it's designed to be a private limited company, and that's what it is. And when you have a formidable opponent like Modi, you need a political party, not a private limited company.
Well, the Congress would say that we are as democratic as the next party. They say that even the BJP
They would be
lying. They would be lying. Okay, let me ask, why do you think that would be the case? Because many people say that there was no real free internal poll held in the BJP to select their president
Modi
or
is-
their
Modi is
presidential
proved.
candidate.
Now, just give me-
Nobody
Okay.
wanted
Let me just
Modi.
give one example.
Okay, no,
The
one
workers
second,
wanted
one
him.
second. Yeah, 1 second. Yes, no one wanted Modi.
Nobody
He's
wanted
proof.
Modi.
Okay.
None of the senior leadership wanted Modi. There was a meeting at which the workers of the BJP started going
Pressurized.
Modi. That's how he got chosen.
Okay.
Let me give you one more statistic. Sorry to interrupt. Tavleen is there. She'll be able to. In the BJP since it's created till now, it has had over a dozen presidents. And if you see in the last 20 years, before Rahul Gandhi took over, they had about 5 presidents. Rajnath Singh, you had Gadkari, you have Amit Shah, and before that Advani. Whereas in the last 20 years from before Rahul Gandhi took over, only Sonia Gandhi was the president. And the point is that the topmost post of the party and the topmost post of the government in the BJP is not reserved for anybody's son, including Amit Shah's son.
When it comes
and
to...
people can say that.
Fair
with
enough.
conviction.
When it comes to accountability, Tejasvi Surya, unfortunately, we have seen this to be true even when the BJP was on a losing spree. And I just want to bring you in on this because I'm playing the devil's advocate here. Many people say that the big captain of the ship doesn't really take responsibility. Even in your party, you say it's a collective enterprise. So therefore, responsibility must be shared equally amongst all stakeholders. Therefore, I'm asking you, is it fair to single out Rahul Gandhi? If not, why?
Rahul, the leader of the Congress party today is Rahul Gandhi. And he has been the commander-in-chief of the Congress party, steering the forces and leading the party in all elections. And successively leading them to disastrous defeats one after the other. Now, even if you are working in any organization, whether it's private, government, whether it is political, whichever organization, there are certain KRAs, there are certain responsibilities on which you are held accountable. For the first time, the Congress party has brought in a culture where the most important leader of the party is not made accountable for his successive defeats which he leads the party to at every single election. And this is because the Congress party falsely believes that the party can be held together only by a leader or a member of the first family. And someone like me, who is, who comes from the millennial generation.
But the BJP has its share of dynasts
Indian,
now.
Who wants to stand on
No,
his
one
feet,
second.
wants to...
He's saying that someone
No,
like
it's
me
not
who
about
grew up-
dynast.
Come on, your uncle is a MLA.
The greatness of
Tejas,
my
your
party.
uncle is an MLA. Don't try to hide that fact.
Sir, so
I have
what?
seen you. I come
So
from
what?
your
He
constituency.
is what he is on his ability. I am what I am on my ability.
Sir,
but the
people have
greatness
seen how
of
you
my
have
party
grown.
is I
Sir,
do not
who's
have
backing
a ceiling limit.
each and every
I
person
do not
knows.
have a
Come on,
ceiling
don't
limit
try to
on
hide
my
that fact.
ambitions.
No, but
I can
You are
aspire
also
to
a
be
dynast,
the party
like
president.
how Abdul Razak
I
Khan
can
Abdul
aspire
Razak
to be
Even
the
he
party's
is a
president,
dynast.
whereas
There
no
is
person
dynastic
in
politics.
this party
BJP
can ever aspire to...
Say uncle, who's uncle of Narendra Modi? I tell you uncle of, I tell you uncle
Why
of,
don't you want
I
to
tell you
hear
uncle of
about
Rahul
the
Gandhi,
BJP
I tell you uncle of
candidate
Akhilesh
Then
Yadav,
why don't
I
you
tell you
want to
uncle
hear
of
me?
Kumaraswamy,
He's a
Kumaraswamy,
MLA in the same
uncle of Stalin, I tell you
Why
uncle of
don't you
all
want
the
to
other
hear
parties.
me?
Come on, it
But
is
you
I
tell me
can
uncle of
seen him
aspire to be
together.
the party
Okay.
president
I come
in
from
my
the
party.
Okay, there's three
Who's
people
backing
speaking
the
over each other.
Nobody.
I can't follow
Nobody
you.
in the Congress party,
I don't know if the viewer is being
including
able
the
to either.
senior
Hang on,
most
relax,
cabinet
calm down.
ministers can
All of
ever
you, one at a
aspire to
time.
be the
Okay, calm
Congress
down, calm
president
down.
of
You're
the
sitting in my
Congress
ear.
Prime Minister.
Relax, 30
That
seconds,
is
1
the-
second.
RSS back
Okay,
hai,
let me
sabko
ask,
pata hai.
Sumansi Raman wants to get a word edgeways. Yes, Sumansi Raman,
Son of, yeah.
go ahead.
Look, very simple, Rahul. The BJP is a much younger party than the Congress, and therefore it will take another 20-30 years for the BJP to also get into this dynastic thing. We are seeing it at a smaller level now.
Well, there are a fair number of dynasts now creeping into the system. Let's not overlook that. Tejasvi Surya, it's only a matter of time, says
So
Sumansi
an older
Raman.
party becomes dynastic party.
Poonam Mahajan,
So,
you know, the second generation creeping
it will
in
become,
here and there.
look,
They're the two
Poonam Mahajan is
Gandhis.
there.
The topmost post
Yes.
is not reserved
No,
for
it's,
women.
I'm not saying that.
No, one second.
He's
one
saying,
second.
he's saying it's only a matter of
I have
time.
a
Okay, one
comment
second,
to Raman.
One second.
Tejasvi Surya, it's only a matter of time.
Loss of understanding.
I've got some statistics, by the way.
No, that's the most illogical argument ever.
Illogical? How
It's
is
the
that?
most illogical argument ever.
Shall I tell you
There
the
are
number of
young
dynasts
people
you've
who
handed
are
out
joining
tickets
the
to?
party every single day.
Yediyurappa's son can be given a ticket,
one
but
second.
not Anand Kumarji's wife.
You're getting
Sir, I don't want to talk when someone is talking over me. Let's talk in a more civilized manner. The party has certain principles. The party ensures that people cannot inherit seats of the leaders based on inheritance. Point one.
Oh, come on.
Point two. One family gets only one seat. If the father is, the minister or the father is an MP,
Sir.
his son does not get by default an opportunity to be an MP or
Okay,
an
I think
MLA.
look.
Three,
Yeah,
there is
absolutely.
no
Let's cut
ceiling
through
limit
this.
for
We're
ambitions
off
in my
subject.
party.
We need
I
to
can
talk about
aspire, like any
accountability.
other political
Father
worker
can be
in
a
my
chief
party
minister.
to be the
One
party
second, let me bring in the DMK. Just a second.
That's not dynasty, Rahul.
Okay, look, one
Rahul-
second. Sumansi Raman,
Rahul-
it's
No,
not
no,
about.
what is
Hang on.
exception in my party is the rule in yours. What is an exception in my party is the rule in yours. That's
Okay,
the
is the
difference.
rule in yours? He's established that. I want to
That's
bring in
because of the-
one
because
second,
of
Mr.
the
Sarvanan.
age
One
of
second,
the
sir,
party.
please. Mr. Sarvanan, I want to ask you, do you believe the time has come for the Congress party to look at its leadership? You have tied up with Rahul Gandhi for a second time. You burnt your fingers the last time around. The statistics are there for all to see. This time, if you go by these exit poll projections, you're headed for another beating. And this time, you're going to actually be bucking history. And that's the problem. I mean, look, we're going by the exit poll. So you have all right to be sort of, smirk and so and so forth and be dismissive, and I can accept that. But let's go with what we've got.
See, what you've got is, it's a fraudulent poll. All these exit polls are all fraudulent. We don't buy these polls. They're a part. I think all of you are the studio.
what do you mean
are
fraudulent?
trying to
I
write
hope
the
it doesn't
epitaph
say
of
the
Mr.
same
Rahul
thing on
Gandhi a little too
23rd.
soon.
No, hang on. Why
It's
would we stake our
fraudulent. There are a lot
credibility
of-
by
lot of-
putting
lot
out
of
an
information.
opinion
If you allow me
survey
to
or an
speak,
exit
I
poll
can.
only to be... No, no, only to have
That
egg
is-
on our
that is up to
faces
you.
3 days
That is-
later.
that is- you
Public
have to
memory
explain
is
that. That is-
unforgiving and it's not short
See, we don't
on
know.
these
We
accounts.
don't know that, Rahul.
And
There are
what
a lot
you
of-
put out is there for
There are a
record.
lot of
So
conspiracy theories going on. There are a lot
what
of
are the conspiracy theories? What are these conspiracy theories?
See, we
Let's
have
hear
seen
them.
the past. Yeah, in the past. See, I don't have to explain that. Then we will be veering off the topic, Rahul. Coming back to the topic.
Oh, so you
when
can
we
make a
speak of,
charge,
taking
you can
responsibility,
call it
the
all
other
fraudulent.
panelists were speaking
Election
about
Commission
taking
called off one election
responsibilities.
because the money they were distributing, and they are talking about
Yes.
exit polls being manipulated.
Well,
they
that's a
manage
point.
elections.
That's a point.
And they are calling
That's a point.
channels, media channels of this country, they are questioning them. But Mr. Saravanan, you have the courage of endorsing Mr. Rahul Gandhi
Yes.
as prime ministerial candidate. I salute your courage. Even
No,
Congress
your
party
boss
leaders
today,
don't do it.
your
but
boss
you do
today
it,
was
and
shying
this is your
away.
courage.
Yes.
Your boss today was shying away. He says, we'll disclose whom I
Can I
support
speak?
after 23rd May. What's changed? He said Rahul will be PM, nation will be safe with him. This is on 13th March 2019. 2.5 months later,
After exit polls.
he's done a U-turn.
After exit polls.
Why? What's the DMK worried about? He's
Rahul,
your
I
man.
think,
He's going to be PM.
no,
The
it's-
polls are
there's no
fraudulent.
U-turn. We are not worried about anything. We are asking everyone to be patient until the 23rd, when the real numbers will be revealed. If only PMs could be made based on the exit polls, BJP would go undefeated. What happened in December? Who has taken responsibility for the defeat in the 3 states?
Okay.
It was dubbed as Modi versus Rahul. Who won? Who came out winners? It was Mr. Rahul Gandhi. Why nobody is speaking? Why nobody is putting responsibility on Mr.
So you
Modi?
mean to say Amit
All
Shah
of these
and-
persons
and
waxing
Modi should have
eloquence
quit?
about Modi's capabilities. He has
Okay.
come as a comic capper in the last few months, few weeks. Who has come out as a better PM candidate? Who has dared to meet the press?
Well, ask
Does the
Mr.
PM have the
Stalin then
courage
why
to
he's
meet
sort
the
of hedging
press?
his bets.
What kind of a PM he is?
Okay.
The only prime minister is the only
So why
prime
didn't they
minister
reject
who
the
has
offer
not
of
met
one
the
with
press
NDA?
in the
Why
last
wait till
70 years
25?
of our
Okay,
independent
Tejasvi
country.
Surya, as I was saying to you, this is
Why
what the
is he- why
opposition
is
is
he-
going
why
to
is he
say.
shy
It's
of
all collective
listening to
responsibility
questions?
even when it comes to the BJP. So why should Rahul Gandhi be strung up?
No, well, Rahul Gandhi can remain the Congress president for his life, and then whether it was Priyanka or whether it is Robert Vadra's kid, they all can take over. We have no problem as long as the Congress party remains wedded to the family. The country is never going to accept the Congress party. It's their laws. I
Okay,
mean, what do
Tavleen
I
Singh, let
care?
me ask you, is the
Because
problem beyond
clearly the
Rahul?
country
Is
has
it
moved beyond
more-
political.
Okay, is it more structural with the
because
Congress
country
party?
has moved beyond
Is it-
dynasty politics.
It doesn't really matter who's at the helm of the Congress party, it'll continue to tank. Is that really the issue, and should we be talking about that issue instead of sort of focusing on Rahul Gandhi?
Yes, we should be. I'm no fan of the dynasty, and I'm no fan of dynastic politics. And if the BJP allows this disease to get into its system, then it will suffer the same way as the Congress party. But the point is that nobody has tried to rebuild the Congress party as a political party. Ever since Sonia Gandhi took it over, it's been, actually Indira Gandhi started it, but Sonia Gandhi really made sure that it remained a family enterprise. And if you do that, then when you face an election like this one, you're in trouble, and that's what's happened. You need proper structural change.
Can I add
Structural change.
One line to what she's saying.
Okay, yeah.
She said that Congress is suffering from disease. I'll name the disease. The disease is AIDS. Let me elaborate. Ability,
Shiva Sena is a
ideology,
family enterprise.
dynasty,
TRS
and
is a
strategy.
family
It is
enterprise.
suffering from lack of these 4. It has AIDS.
Okay, let's not
Congress has
trivialize.
AIDS.
Let's not trivialize. Okay,
No,
well,
just
okay,
to-
fine. You come up
lack
with a
of
clever
dynasty means
acronym.
lack of democracy.
You're borrowing.
So it has
Rahul.
AIDS,
Okay.
Rahul.
you're-
no ability,
Rahul.
no ideology,
Okay.
too much
Okay.
dynasty,
Okay.
and lack of strategy.
AIDS is curable now.
AIDS is, yeah,
With
AIDS
a-
is
with a
curable.
cocktail.
Imminently
But it
curable.
destroys the immune system of the party.
Okay, so you really thought this through.
Sir, I
Okay,
have
the
no
doctor has
acronym.
diagnosed it. Okay,
Acronyms come naturally.
okay, one second. I'll come to you. Let me just bring in Suman C. Raman. Yes, Suman C.
One
Raman.
question, Rahul.
Yes, go ahead.
One question, please. Just one question. One question to the panel. Now, the Shiva Sena is an ally of the NDA. It's part of the NDA. Is it not a dynastic party? Akali Dal is part of the
100%.
NDA.
It's
Is
disgraceful.
it not a dynastic party?
Yes.
It is.
TRS is talking closely to BJP. Is TRS not a dynastic party?
It is.
Father,
Yes.
daughter, son, nephew. What are we talking about?
Sir, they have strategy, they have ideology. They are not suffering from AIDS.
No, it's wrong in every case.
The
Well,
TRS is not doing
For a
badly
while it
despite
might
being
work
Dynastic
for you,
party.
but after a
Things
point
go
the
around
law
in
of diminishing returns kicks in, and that's when you're supposed to have the institutional wherewithal to reform. Nonetheless, let me bring in Tejasvi Surya. Tejasvi Surya, we're attacking the wrong symptom. We're attacking the wrong symptom, and the hypocrisy is being brought out by Sumansi Raman. Quick response before I bring in Sadanand Dhume. Quick response.
No. Sumant Raman is confusing the trees for the woods. The BJP is a separate independent entity. Our association with our political allies doesn't mean that we endorse dynasty politics in the country. As far as the BJP is concerned, take it from me, the greatest thing about the BJP today is any Karyakarta, the millions of Karyakartas who are there in the country, all of them can collectively aspire to be the national president of this party. There is no ceiling limit to the aspirations, unlike it is there in the Congress party, where the president of the Congress party's post is reserved for the first family.
That there are individuals,
fundamental difference between my party and the Congress.
That individuals in your party also survive on the goodwill of one or two individuals right at the top. That there is a culture, there is a darbar, it's defined differently. Would you agree with that, Sadanand Dhume?
So for sure, there is that, but that's not hereditary, which is a very big difference.
Okay.
Now, here's the thing, right?
There's
a practical element to this.
I don't think Sadanand Dhume is the spokesperson for the BJP.
I'm not. I'm an analyst. I'm not speaking for your party. I'm speaking about your party, which I have a right to do. I have a right to speak about your party without being in your party. You do realize that, right?
Of course.
Yes, of course. Now let me make my point.
Of course, you have
let
the
me
right
make
to
my
speak
point
about
first.
the party. No, I thought the question was for me.
Thank you. So let me make my point. There is a pragmatic dimension to this.
Pragmatic.
Which is that part of the problem that the Congress faces is not simply that it is a dynasty. It's that at this particular moment in time, the dynasty has thrown up a politician who lacks political skills. This was not a problem for Congress in 1969. Indira Gandhi was terrifically successful at what she did. This was not even a problem for Congress in 2009. Sonia Gandhi was, we like her or not, she was good at what she did.
Better than this.
Now the crisis is that the dynasty demands that only Rahul Gandhi can lead Congress. Evidence suggests he does not have the political chops to pull it off. That's the crux of the problem.
But there are two more small problems which Tavleen has described a lot.
Beyond AIDS.
Beyond AIDS.
Okay, beyond AIDS.
See, Rahul being a dynasty is not the biggest problem.
Okay.
He surrounds himself with Raj Darbaris who only tell him things he wants to hear. He does not have, like for instance, Modi will take critical feedback also. But he is so encompassed in his
that's what the opposition says. He takes no critical feedback. He rules it. He also rules the BJP with an iron hand. Let me bring it. Let me bring on this point.
Can I make a point?
There are two narratives there.
I have a small difference with Mr. Dhume. Can I make my point?
Please, make your point. Make your point. Tejasvi Surya.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, yes. So, where I beg to differ from you is, the Congress party's limited talent pool is restricted only to the family. When you restrict the talent pool to just one family, you always depend on the rare chance of a good, individual coming from that family, and you restrict the whole of the country or the workers of the party to not take any leadership position.
It is too early for all these comments. Please
it's
remember, even BJP lost 2004, later lost 2009, later you came back in 2014.
Where I disagree,
no, I'm not saying that you have completely lost and you write an epitaph today itself. There is nothing like that. Winning and losing is part of a game.
No, look, hang on.
Even
the general who leads you into a fight,
hang
on. A general who leads you into a fight is meant to be equipped with a lot more than just a hereditary claim to power. I'm sure you would agree with that.
Rahul,
if we are going to have a situation where the Gandhi, where one Gandhi goes and now perhaps Priyanka steps in, that is not actually widening the talent pool.
We have improved the vote share in UP.
Sir, are you playing
This
for
is
increasing
not
vote
the
share?
only election.
You're fighting
The-
for increasing vote share.
This
sir. You
is
please
not
tell
the
us what
only
the
election.
I thought you're here to
Look
win.
at-
is reduced to
I thought
increasing vote
Rahul
share.
Gandhi was out there to stop Narendra Modi from becoming
It was
Prime
very
Minister.
clear that
By-
places
He's
like
saying vote
Fatehpur,
increaser.
Sikri,
That's all they're
places
aiming.
like
Would you like to respond
Moradabad, where we were
to the
very
point that
strong,
he's
we
making
will
that there
do
are
that.
many elections? This is not the only one.
Keep losing.
This is a party that is growing.
We
It's
have to
growing
start
under
from
Rahul Gandhi.
somewhere.
We've
That
got
is
to
what
give
we
him
did
a
in this
chance.
election.
Look,
We've got to give him a
no, I
chance.
actually think he's making a fair point.
Okay.
You can say that you want, but the question is, at what point as a political organization do you say you've had enough chances? You can't have a limitless number of chances. Okay, let's say you're going to give them 2, you're going to give them 3. In any normal political party, in any other part of the world, you'd get 1 chance or 2. Let's say India is a special case. Let's also say the Nehru-Gandhi family is a special case within that special case. But even then, you can't have an unlimited number of chances, right? There has to be some point. So you say he loses 2014, no problem. Loses 2019, okay, no problem. What happens to 2024? At some point, there has to be some kind of mechanism within the party, and I say this as a well-wisher, that allows you to build a party, as Tavleen was saying, around a set of ideas, because
at the
frankly,
Labour
India
Party in
needs
UK. How
India
the
needs
Labour-
an alternative
Look at
set
the
of
Labour
ideas.
Party in UK. Abdur Razak. Mr. Razak.
Then
Look,
decide
Mr.
whether
Razak.
it is
We're
a
all
victory
talking in hypotheticals.
No, we're
Margaret Thatcher.
analysing
1 second.
what could have gone wrong. Right? Like you've analysed vote share. We're just analysing what could have gone
seems
wrong
to have gone
with
wrong.
our oldest political party.
Now let me ask a more provocative question. Let me ask a more provocative question. Has under Rahul Gandhi's leadership, tutelage, what have you, the Congress now become irrelevant to the discourse? I mean, the Congress party made a big song and dance about not being given the official leader of the opposition status when actually it was locked within 2 or 3 of 2 other parties. So I want to ask you, Tavleen Singh, is the Congress party today writing its own epitaph? Is it out of the reckoning?
No, that is why we are discussing it and not discussing the TMC, because the central government will either have to be with the BJP at the center or the Congress party. None of your regional political parties are in a position to be the pivot of a new government of India.
Okay, so let me ask you this question from the other end. If I was a Congress spokesperson and if I were wanting to rebut, I would say that there has to be a cutoff point where you gauge Mr. Gandhi's success in this election. What is it for you? Doubling the number? 100? 3 digits? What is it?
Well, actually, he's had a bad run. It's what, 30 elections or something that he's
No,
lost?
20.
20, okay,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
So if he can actually get the Congress party to 100,
Okay.
I would consider it a success
Would
for
you?
him.
I don't think that is fair. At least you can make the argument that possibly the Congress is on the path to being rebuilt.
Okay. 100? 100? Sumansi Raman? 100?
Yeah.
Is that a benchmark?
Yeah.
Success?
Rahul, I would say at least I would say at least doubling the number of seats from 44 to 88 or 90. 100 would certainly give them some kind of a breathing, would give him some kind of breathing space, even though it would certainly have not been a...
So let me then ask
very
Tejasvi
good
Surya. Let me
performance
ask him.
by
Let me
Mr.
ask him.
Gandhi.
Tejasvi Surya.
I think there is a rebuilding
You
process.
have to admit.
And I think India needs
Congress
these
Mukt
two
Bharat
large
was a
parties.
slogan, grandiose one. Many people were rattled by it because it was taken to mean that the Prime Minister and Amit Shah did not even want an opposition. But I want to ask you, you've since modified it to say we're talking about a Congress culture. Now, if the Congress gets to 88, as Sumansi Raman says, on 100, would you concede that there is still space for what the Congress represents? Would you concede that? Would you say, okay, we respect this?
Well, young India certainly believes that low ambition is a crime. But if Congress party wants to be happy with such low ambitions, then who am I to stop them?
Okay, low ambition.
You can't ignore vote
He's
share
come out with
entirely.
a- he's come up with a fact.
Let me add one more point. See, this 100 figures just we pulled out of the hat. What did Labour Party do? It dropped its ideological positioning on socialism. It got in a new leader like Tony Blair to counter Margaret Thatcher, who was very Modi. Modi is like Margaret Thatcher in many ways. They made a new Labour.
No, he's not actually. Economically, he's not at all. Economically, he's on the other side. Economically, he's on the other side. You might be talking about.
He has minimized government structure.
He hasn't broken through the labor unions. No, okay. Now, hang on. You're in the deep end here. You're in the deep end. You're in the deep end. Don't say this.
But let me just make one last point.
Public sector company.
The point is not about the conservatives. The point is about new Labour being created. What has Rahul Gandhi done in the last 5 years to create a new Congress?
Well, BJP
has created a new BJP.
He says, read my manifesto.
He says against the opposition. The arrogant said you will wipe off Congress. You have used all the.
He says he's the only one fighting the BJP at a national level. You read my manifesto. It's a liberal document. It is opposite to what the Congress espouses.
By the way, this is not true.
It's not true.
Every institution
What
was
you're saying is, no, I'm sorry.
hijacked.
This
Every
is a
institution
narrative that
was
is a lie.
misused.
It's a lie.
I can give you examples.
I can give you examples.
Situation.
No, I'm sorry.
The day Mayawati and Akhilesh came together, there were IT raids on
Oh,
both
come
of
on.
them.
Come on. This has happened
come on,
under the
then-
Come on,
UPA.
every
I mean, you've had cases.
institution, I'm saying.
I mean,
No,
come
I'm
on.
sorry.
Look,
I'm
please,
sorry.
please.
The Supreme Court has been actually diminished by the Congress party.
But the BJP did
one
lie.
minute.
Let
No,
her
no,
complete
no,
court.
one minute.
Let her complete.
And by the judges. Actually, it was a shameful day for those judges to come out
Four of them.
for about a roster. We're a country where the ordinary Indian doesn't get to have any justice. They never come out for that.
Their
So I'm
cases are
sorry,
not
no,
listed.
Let
Let
me
alone
prove
a
it is not
roster.
the only case.
Okay.
Let me prove each and every
No, it's-
institution.
Look, while we're on that
Sorry.
subject, look, the trouble is today, viewers, and we're going to move
Rahul, one quick point.
very quick. Yes, very quick. I need to move ahead on this show. Very
Transition
quick.
to the next generation has not
one
happened.
point.
Yeah, very quickly, Rahul. In the Congress party, Rahul Gandhi is still operating with Sonia Gandhi's team of advisors. That next generational shift has just not
Look,
happened.
That's his problem.
That's
Who are
his
we seeing
problem.
in key positions: Kamal Nath, Ashok Gehlot.
Well, why
Gulab
won't
Nabi
there be?
Azad.
There would
That
be
is-
continuity if it's right at the top, then everyone else is taking their cue. There would be ossification. Anyhow, let's not lose ourselves there. The point that is being made suddenly out of the blue is that every institution
Rahul,
has
just
been
one
weakened.
sentence, please.
Yeah, very quickly. Tejasvi Surya, very quickly.
Yes, Rahul. On a serious note, the country. On a serious note, the country needs a credible opposition, and I think the Congress party must now try reforming itself as an ideology-based party than as a family or a dynasty-based party.
sir.
It is good for Indian democracy in the long run.
Well, okay. Well, someone has made a snide comment. You might wake up from your dreams on the 23rd and face a nightmare. That being said, I want to move on this debate to another
All
interesting
right.
issue, because once again, institutions are under attack. The media once again is under attack. Pollsters are now under attack. For a while, the EVMs were the biggest suspects. In fact, tomorrow, Chandrababu Naidu is going to lead a bunch of opposition leaders significantly outraged at what they believe is manipulation. We're moving on to the next debate. And I want to tell you, viewers,